The world is on high alert as mysterious events surrounding the Jewish temple in Israel unfold. Could the rebuilding of the temple ignite religious disputes and geopolitical repercussions? From the historical significance of the temple to the controversy surrounding Robert Hamilton's involvement, this is a story that impacts cultural artifacts, diplomatic ties, and religious tolerance. The recent events surrounding the Jewish temple in Israel have caused widespread fear and anxiety around the world. The global community is closely observing these events because of the extensive outcomes that they could cause. There is mystery and intrigue surrounding the scenario, including the shadowy character of Robert Hamilton and the controversy surrounding rebuilding the temple. The possibility that these events might ignite religious disagreements has put the international community on high alert. The future may put at risk cultural artifacts, diplomatic ties, and religious tolerance. To investigate these sources of widespread fear, we need to revisit the historical setting, analyze the temple's relevance, and investigate Hamilton's alleged involvement. While there are no unusual circumstances in Israel's current scenario, complex and nuanced challenges are common in the global arena. Some understanding of history is required to fully appreciate the temple's cultural, political, and spiritual significance for Jewish people all over the world. For Jews throughout history, the temple carries great religious, cultural, and political symbolism due to its historical roots. The magnificent temples of Solomon and Herod once stood atop Jerusalem's Temple Mount. It served as the most sacred spot for Judaism. The year 70 CE marked a critical period for Jewish history due to the destruction of the Second Temple. The diaspora that lasted for centuries was among the many far-reaching consequences of this catastrophe. The temple is still longed for by Jewish tradition. Despite the Jewish people's dispersal, it symbolizes both Jewish national pride and religious ambition. The Temple Mount presently houses 3 religious structures. Over here are located the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Dome of the Rock, and a medieval Jewish temple. The significant religious meaning attributed to these Islamic sites by Muslims makes the expansion or renovation of the temple highly complicated. Multiple religious sites on the same sacred ground have rendered this matter even more complicated. Considering religious sensitivities and historical claims require sensitivity. The fall of the Second Temple caused a gap in Jewish religious practices. The Jewish communities have long aimed to restore the temple. Recovering their spiritual center is their aim, along with revitalizing the customs and practices associated with it. Jewish tradition has always included this yearning, which brings Jews together as a connecting thread. It solidifies their bond over a common history and identity. Rebuilding the Jewish temple may face potential obstacles and generate debate. However, the Temple Mount is highly valued by multiple political and religious groups, each with unique priorities. Mishandling this might ignite religious disputes and have geopolitical repercussions. The volatility of the region in which the Temple Mount is placed only serves to worsen the seriousness of the situation. The complexity and competing narratives of the Israel-Palestine conflict overshadow any conversations or arrangements concerning the temple. Temple policy changes could have significant implications throughout the region. An unstable balance of power dynamics exists because of geopolitical issues. The significance of the Jewish temple's history could be considered when appreciating the present situation. The Second Temple's demolition had a profound impact on Jewish history. Rebuilding the temple has become an unceasing aspiration. Islamic structures on the Temple Mounts make any future developments challenging. Showing respect, diplomacy, and due consideration towards all sides is paramount. Given the complexity of the situation and its potential global impact, this will guarantee a nonviolent and just settlement. Achieving peaceful resolutions and stability in the region requires such efforts. The concerns and sensitivities of diverse religious and political groups must be considered in such initiatives. The status of the Jewish temple is a contentious topic with significant implications. Religious, political, and archaeological factors have led to a controversial discussion about rebuilding the temple. Champions of the rebuild maintain that it is important to actualize religious objectives and rediscover Jewish cultural heritage. The temple's meaning extends to encompass Jewish national identity. Countless modern Jews reflect on this as a connection to the Jewish people's past. For ages, there's been a deeply rooted desire to see the temple rebuilt, propelled by tradition. The Jewish communities coming together could potentially be achieved by rediscovering their traditional customs. They'll recommit to their secret site. Well, founded arguments exist against rebuilding the temple. However, overcoming the present religious and geopolitical landscape encircling the Temple Mount is a key obstacle to be tackled. You'll discover two of Islam's holiest buildings, the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock, in this neighborhood. Any efforts to modify or rebuild the Jewish temple could potentially trigger religious conflicts between Jews and Muslims. The political sensitivity surrounding the conflict increases the difficulty of addressing religious issues in an already tense situation between Israel and Palestine. The archaeological standpoint contributes reach to the ongoing debate. Archaeologists are continuing to conduct digs on the Temple Mount, which is a historically important site. Some individuals believe that any kind of renovation or development needs to be avoided as it could potentially compromise or destroy the site's archaeological layers. Priceless artifacts and information regarding the past of this area can be found within these layers. Preserving archaeological sites while also rebuilding religious ones is a difficult balance to achieve. The project of rebuilding the Jewish temple has raised issues regarding accountability and transparency due to Hamilton's participation. Even though not originally intended, this endeavor could affect religious communities, geopolitical actors, and worldwide audiences. The impact of this enterprise could extend far beyond initial expectations. Preventing manipulation and exploitation requires open and accountable procedures for decision-making and resource allocation. Transparency and fairness are ensured throughout the process. Being wary and aware is vital, particularly as the account progresses and new particulars surface. A careful examination of Hamilton's motivations and actions is necessary when holding him accountable for his participation in monumental endeavors. The context within which they worked must be comprehended. Only through transparency and open debate can we truly grasp the nature of mysterious characters and their possible impact on the events surrounding the Jewish temple. To summarize, the Jewish temple events in Israel have caused alarm and dread around the world. This conflict goes beyond just the Israel-Palestine conflict, as it can have an impact on international politics, cultural heritage, interfaith ties, and more. The international community understands the scary possibilities of major alterations to the Temple Mount. A deliberate and diplomatic approach has been requested to resolve differences effectively. Open communication, tolerance, and mutual respect are vital. It encourages amity among individuals of varying religions and cultures in our interconnected world. Pursuing stability and harmony requires active participation and thoughtful deliberation. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your support and would love for you to subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to check out our latest video on the left and a recommended video on the right. We hope you have a wonderful day.